Welcome to the Get Right with God podcast with Jamargrimsley, where we're all a work in progress. Nobody has their life all the way together. We're all trying to get right with God.
Listen, the shift in your life is almost complete. What am I talking about? First off, thank you guys for tuning into another episode of Get Right with God podcast. I'm your host, Jamargrimsley, and I know that you guys, again, can see the title, and it says that the shift in your life, that it is almost complete. Oh, yes. And we know when something is almost complete, right? That means that any day, any minute, any second, any hour, any week, right? It's almost like this is almost here. This is not something that's going to take a while to happen, right? The shift in your life, it has begun, right? And so the shift in your life, it is almost complete, right? So it has begun, but it's not yet complete. Hear the word of the Lord, you guys. And somebody keep asking me, why am I always reading something, right? One of the gifts God gave me is I'm a prophetic scribe and I have a scribal anointing, right? So now that is out the way, let's get into the word. The title says that shift in your life, it is almost complete, right? The Lord says every connection in this season will carry purpose, right? No more relationships that drain your spirit. He says no dead weight, right? It says God will and have been removing people and will replace them with people that can help you in your assignment. Has God been removing anybody from your life, or has God, he'd say he's been doing it, right? Or is people kind of leaving your life right now? He says that he's the one that's causing those things to happen so that he can replace those people like dead weight with people that are going to help you with your assignment, people that understand your assignment, people that are interested in what you're doing for real, not somebody that's faking or acting like they happy for you, but these are people that God is sending, right? He says those people that can help you with your assignment. He says what weighed you down yesterday, it has no permission to follow you today, right? He says that fatigue and tired feeling was because of spiritual misalignment. He's saying, you guys, a lot of you guys may be feeling or sometime like just so fatigued and you can't get it together and you always tired. And he's saying for someone, right, that feeling is because you were spiritually misaligned, right? He said you are now coming into sync, right? You know how sync is like it's all coming together. You know how your Bluetooth got to find your phone, or your car, it got to find your phone and it got to connect, and it's not going to connect until it's in sync. You see what I'm saying? Like it got to be in sync, right? Y'all know what that means. He says that you have been waiting, right? No, you have been watering barren ground with faith and tears. He says, chosen one, you are now walking in the realm of impossibilities. What is happening now, it cannot be reversed, right? The shift that has begun in your life cannot be undone. It is not temporary, but it is eternal. I looked up the word eternal, right? Eternal means it's something that cannot be changed, right? It's going to exist forever, right? It's a constant and everlasting thing. It's just something that lasts forever. It's not going to change. It's not going to go back. It's not going to change, right? He says you step into the realm of impossibilities, right? He says the shift has begun, right? Important. It is eternal. It cannot be undone. It's not temporary, but it's eternal. He says heaven's calendar does not flip backwards, right? He says God does not call you forward to return you to where you've been, right? So there's no more going back to old anything. Everything ahead of you, child of God, when this shift completes, everything ahead of you is going to be forward, everything forward. Even if you want to go back, it's not going to even work. It's not going to be comfortable for you. It's just not going to work, right? God got a way of pushing you out, right? He'll push you out and you won't even be able to go back. You know how I was talking about between a rock and a hard place, right? You in the middle here, but the rock is here and the hard place is in front of you, right? But once God removes the hard place, you can now just go forward, right? You can now just go forward. You can't go back because the rock is there. Did you catch that, right? He said he did not call you forward to return to where you've been. You have stepped into something that is not, that has no rewind, right? Let obedience guide your steps. Some people around you may start acting away about what's happening, right? Now, this part is very important, right? Let obedience guide your steps, right? Because there's going to be things that God is going to tell you, and you guys be obedient. This is what I'm saying. This is how you're going to move forward in obedience, right? Let obedience guide your steps. He says some people around you may start acting away about what's happening, right? He says some may even pull away or start questioning you, right? This is when people start seeing what's happening in your life and they're going to start like pulling away or, he says, do not let their confusion interrupt your clarity, right? So you're going to understand, and this is the only one that has to understand is you. Don't let them make you start doubting what you're doing and think, oh, that don't make sense. Oh, that ain't God. Why would you do that? That's so dumb. I wouldn't do that if I was you, right? They want to interrupt. He's saying don't let them interrupt your clarity when you already have the instruction and you're going to know what to do, right? He says you owe no one an explanation, right? For a revelation that they were not there to receive. What God is telling you to do, the instruction God is going to give you, nobody knows what it is. Only you know, right? It's like you don't have to explain anything, right? You just keep doing what you're doing, no matter what people are saying. They didn't hear what it is that God told you to do, right? He says miracles will become a normal part of your life, right? You will not be surprised when doors open. You are standing where you are supposed to be. No more wondering or questioning, right? You are not early, but you are not late. You are in the divine timing of the Lord, right? So sometimes things may not be happening in our lives, you guys, and we may think, oh God, I feel like everybody moving ahead of me and I'm at a standstill and nothing is moving in my life. What's going on, Lord? And it feel like you stuck, right? But God is saying that you are not behind, right? You are not behind, but you are exactly where you're supposed to be, right? You are in his divine timing, right? He says you are standing between prophecy and fulfillment, right? So prophecy is the word. This is what the promise is for your life, but it hasn't quite yet. It's fulfillment, right? You're right in the middle and you're about to move into this, child of God. The title says that the shift in your life, that it is almost complete, right? He says you are in between who you were, right? And who you were meant to become, right? So you can't go back, right? You can't go back. You're no longer that person behind you, but you have not quite yet walked into, right, who you were created to be, right? Who you were in between you were and who you were meant to become, right? So you're right in the middle, child of God, but God is about to push you into it. No going back. It's only forward from here. He says, suddenly you will begin to see and feel things that in your spirit will shout, this is it. This is the moment I was made for. It's like you're just going to know, child of God. You're just going to know. There's going to be doubt sometime in your mind. And I don't know. It's like going to be no doubt at all that this is what you're supposed to be doing at this very moment. You would just know that this is a divine setup of God and it'll be the green light to just go ahead, right? He says, this is it. He said, this is the moment I've been made for. You'll know that. He says, it will not be vague, right? But it will be loud enough to silence your doubt. So there's going to be no doubt. You're going to just know that this is the door right here. There's going to be no, I don't know, like God is going to make it so evidently clear, child of God, right? He says it will be undeniably divine and it will give you peace, right? You know how you do certain stuff, you guys, and you be like, oh, I got peace about this, right? Meaning you are in the will of God when you get peace about it. But if you do something and then I don't know, I'm doubting, I don't really, and there's no peace and your mind is just all over the place, you back and forth, and you're not going to be like that, right? When you do this thing, right, it's going to be in the divine timing of the Lord. And when you do it, and you're going to do it by a knowing in your spirit, right? And you're going to have peace, right? It says it will confirm that God has already gone before you. So you're going to know, again, like I say, you just going to know that this is a divine orchestration of the Lord. God has already been there and he set this up for me. And it's going to be like no doubt in your mind that it was God. He says, heaven is watching joy to witness your moment of becoming, right? Your moment of becoming. Like, heaven ain't watching you, judging you. Heaven is watching you. I'm proud of my son. I'm proud of my daughter. I'm proud. Let's rejoice about this, right? He's becoming. She's becoming, right? He says, you have fasted, cried, prayed, and been faithful in private, and now God will elevate you in public. He's saying you've never given up on God, right? You've never given up on God. You've been praying. You still cried. You may have had some hard times, but all of these things nobody really saw, right? But God saw those things. And he said, because you did those things in private, now God will elevate you in public, right? It says the days ahead are going to define you by the marks of heaven. Your evidence is opportunities will find you and the resources will be drawn to you like gravity, right? So everything that belongs to, it's just going to come, child of God. It's just going to come. It's just going to come. You just got to be available and be ready. But everything that belongs to you, it's just going to come, right? He says your name will rise because heaven has endorsed it, right? This is the beginning of your reveal, right? But listen carefully, chosen one. You must not overlook the fact that elevation comes with more responsibility, right? So you can't just still be lazy or not do much. And it's like greater responsibilities, right? It's like greater responsibilities, right? It says divine promotion is not a reward, but it is a mantle. Right? It's a mantle. So when you get this, child of God, this is something that you're going to have to wear. Remember, it said this is eternal. This is something that's not going to go back, right? You're not going to go back, right? He says the reward is a mantle, right? It's not he said it's not a reward, right? But it is a mantle. He said, if you're not careful, those blessings sent to elevate you can become a distraction, right? He says, while your elevation rises, right, so must your awareness be very cognizant, right, of your mind. He says, as you rise, child of God, right, as you begin to elevate, right, he's saying, make sure that you are very cognizant, right? And make sure that you are aware. What does the word cognizant mean, you guys? It says having knowledge of or being aware or recognizing that a thing exists, right? He said, once you begin to go up, right, make sure you are aware, right, of your mind, right, your heart, and your relationships, right? He says, not everyone from your past can walk with you into your future, right? Sometimes there's people that they may want to go forward with you, but maybe this person is a hindrance to your life, or maybe this person's path is just you're not on the same path, right? But he says some people will re-enter to be nosy, right? He says some people may re-enter, meaning that these are people that probably you used to really just kind of be close to, but you're no longer really in a good relationship with the person, or you just haven't spoken to them in a while. But he says some people will re-enter to be nosy, right? To read nosy. He says, be very discerning. Let no distractions come in, right? Because when God is doing something in your life and you're moving forward and God is elevating you, taking you higher, the devil ain't just going to let you rest. Okay, just I ain't going to bother them. Let them just walk on into their purpose. They just going to fulfill their calling. I ain't going to even bother them. Let's just let them just walk into what God has promised. No, he's going to fight you tooth and nail. He says, be discerning and let no distractions come in, because when things start to come in, you guys, and try to distract you, it may be relationships. Somebody want to get in a relationship and it may take you off course. Somebody might want to invite you to a certain church, and this church may be an occultic church, or so be very aware, right? Be very aware. He said, be very cognizant of your heart, your mind, and your relationships. Just be very careful of every little area of your life, child of God. People come into your life, be careful with them. What do they really want? You get what I'm saying? What do they really want? Even if it's people like, how is the relationship? Are you in relationship, or you have a friend or something and this person pulls you down, or they cause you to move backwards, or like, how's that relationship, right? He's saying be very discerning on that, child of God, because people are going to come and be nosy. Do not let distractions come in. Again, another way to determine this is if old people start coming in. This is probably somebody that's coming in to be nosy, right? He says, be very discerning, let no distractions come in. He says, you've graduated and evolved. You're walking with a new sensitivity. You will no longer ask, is this from God? Your spiritual eyes have been opened, right? Sometimes, you guys, you know how, like, you'll just kind of know, like, there'll just be such a knowing in you about opportunities that come, or when God sends a spouse, or when God sends a destiny helper, or like, there's not going to be deceit. There's not going to be any deceit. It's like you're going to be so spiritually sensitive with God that you're just going to know. You see what I'm saying? Like, it ain't going to be no doubt. It's going to be no doubt, child of God. And that's a good place to be when there's no doubt. Because whenever there's doubt, Satan could play with your mind, but your mind is too strong to even believe that. You see what I'm saying? It's like somebody telling you God don't exist, right? Nobody could change your mind about God not exist, because you know that he exists. You've had your experiences with him, right? You felt his presence. You've seen what he do in your life. So nobody can come in and tell you that God doesn't exist. It's kind of like that, child of God. It's kind of like that. People are going to come in, right? And try to like just change the path that you're on, right? He says you're walking in a new sensitivity. People are going to come in and try to cause you to go off course, or the devil's going to try to play with your mind. But he's saying you are no longer going to have to ask, is it from God, right? Your spiritual eyes have been opened. Your path is being revealed, one obedient step at a time. You guys, this right, it's not really an automatic thing, but it kind of is. But when God tells you to do something, just move. Don't play around. Just move, because you want the life of abundance, right? You want that complete shift. It's almost complete, but don't you want it to finish? In order for that thing to finish, and God tells you to do something, just do it, child of God, right? He says what you did in secret is returning with overflow. What you once proved is coming back around and finding you, right? What you once pursued is coming back around and finding you. Those things, once this shift takes place, those things that you put your hands to, those things that you tried to do that didn't work before, those things are going to come back around and find you. You ain't gonna even have to go back and try it again. Those things, like the people that denied you for the job, or those people, everything is gonna come back and find you, child of God. You're stepping into something new, right? Something, you're going forward, right? He says going to come around. He says what's coming next will require your voice, your presence, and your obedience more than ever, right? So obviously there's going to be something, this assignment or whatever it is going to be something that you're going to have to talk. You're going to have to speak, maybe preach to people or something, right? He says, and your obedience. It needs your presence as well. You got to show up. Like we need your voice, and they're going to need your presence. Don't play around. Like, you got to show up, right? And do what God tells you to do. He said it needs your voice, right? It needs your presence and your obedience more than ever, right? So more than ever, it needs your obedience more than ever. Some of the things may be something that you may feel like you can't do, right? But God is saying more than ever, you need to be obedient when you're walking into this thing, right? He says, may you never again question who you are. You are rising. You are chosen. You are ready. Oh, yes, you guys, this kind of word seemed like another word that I bought before. The words are just kind of aligning, right? They just kind of aligning. Yeah, you guys, this is a beautiful word. Again, the title says the shift in your life is almost complete. Right? Remember, it said that you are in between prophecy and fulfillment, right? And you're not where you're supposed to be, but you're not where you used to be. Like you're in between, right? So title, the shift in your life is almost complete. The last words to this message is you are rising, you are chosen, and you are ready. Be blessed.
Make right with God. Come and do it now. Under the cross of Jesus, I lay my burden.